Hello, this is John Wilks, Chief Executive of the Institute of Health and Social Care Management, and this is my editorial podcast for Friday, August the 21st. Streams. This year's record-breaking temperatures and, certainly in England and Wales, prolonged drought have reduced my local river to little more than a congested stream. The ancient river depth gauge, calibrated in feet and inches and fixed to a wall near the medieval stone bridge, is redundant. There's not even enough water for it to register, given that its measurement starts at 1. We've had some of what the Welsh describe as bread of heaven this week. Light drizzle and rain from Monday, and there may be a thunderstorm or two today, Thursday. But the river remains stubbornly lethargic and the depth gauge unmoved. It will be some time before the sea trout decide that there is a chance of making it upriver to their spawning grounds. Meanwhile, normally submerged boulders bask in their newfound exposure, and green vegetation festoons the riverbed, providing a haven for wagtails and families of ducks. But this is all a reflection of now. By the time we get to November and the inevitable autumn storms have done their thing, the river will look and sound very different. Flood defence schemes will be hard at work, and the river's banks will be tested by the force of rushing water. Small children currently happy to play poo sticks will be kept well away. The river gauge will display around 9 feet, and the duck families will be elsewhere. Feast and famine, drought and flood, and the means to manage each end of the spectrum and all in between are not unique to nature. Health and social care is obliged to manage the extremes and find a way to carry on in just the same way as a farmer or a kingfisher. Sometimes it feels easy, but the margin between that and struggle is narrow and precarious. I can't fully understand what it's been like for staff of all levels and roles across our sector to come to work and display enthusiasm, positivity, compassion and care during the heat waves. Relentless high temperatures and humidity are difficult enough to contend with if you're by a river and able to seek shade under an obliging willow tree. To be enclosed in an older building designed without the luxury of air conditioning, or even for security and safety reasons, the ability to open windows, it must have been exacting in the extreme. I know from reports and emails to me that some of you have been operating in frankly dangerous environments, and that is not sustainable. So the only purpose of this week's editorial is to recognise your extraordinary fortitude, commitment and dedication. There have been very few headlines written about your willingness and stoicism to carry on, whatever the conditions, to deliver care for our most vulnerable citizens. So allow me to record that society owes you an enormous debt of gratitude, even though it's only you who really knows just how deep into your reserves of vocational calling you've reached. As the rivers and streams gradually rise over the coming weeks, take a moment to stop and look at your local environment and feel your own batteries charging as the depth gauge rises, the grass regains its green hue, the blackberries swell, and it's okay to take a walk at lunchtime without smearing on factor 50 and adopting a Melania-sized sun hat. Thank you to you all. You should be very proud of the fact that you kept going, and the people whom you cared for will never forget it. Stay safe, stay strong, and thank you for the brilliant work you're all doing. Bye-bye.